and welcome to Web and Media Tips. I'm Jared Voyles, Webmaster for the Altek Media Group. We've designed web and media tips for business owners and managers, and our goal is to, in layman's terms, help you better understand some of the web and media services you're perhaps outsourcing to ensure you're getting the best return on investment on those services. As you probably know, your website is now one of your most important marketing tools today, or in some cases, the most important. I'm going to give you some basic tips and concepts behind SEO and show you how to check to see if your website's basic SEO is set up correctly. If you have any questions after viewing this short video, please feel free to contact me using the contact box to my left, or you can call me directly at 951-781-8624. Now first off, what exactly is SEO? SEO is short for search engine optimization, and in simple terms it means getting your website on the first or second pages of a Google search. Now the idea of SEO is a very simple one, but putting it into practice is a very complicated, time-consuming, and potentially expensive process. The online business world is constantly evolving, and the rules of SEO alongside with it. But while the rules are changing, there are certain standardized SEO practices that remain applicable today. In this video, I'll be showing you how you can easily and quickly check to make sure your website is at least optimized to these basic standards. What we'll focus on today is on-site SEO. This is the more programming-centric part of SEO, but don't feel too intimidated, because checking source code is pretty painless, and I'll also be guiding you through it. And if you're still lost or confused, you can always contact us by phone or email. Now the first thing we're going to go through is look at the title tag. We're going to look at it from the source, from the website itself, and from a search engine result page. Before we start, you'll need to know how to view your website's source code. So the first thing you need to do is get online and go to your company's website. For my example, I'll be looking at the Altek Media website's homepage. Okay, so here we are at Altek Media's website on their homepage. And what I'm going to show you is to view your website's source code. So like I said before, you simply right-click, and then from here, you click View Page Source. Now here we have your source code, and what we're looking at specifically is your website's title tag, which is right here. Now we go onto the web page itself, and the title tag is actually up here in the tab, right up here. Now here we are on the search engine result page, and then the title tag is right up here in big bold blue letters, or in this case purple because these are the ones I clicked. So title tag, title tag, title tag. Now if you notice underneath the description here, you have other links that link to other parts of the page on this website. And these are what we call rich snippet text, but that's a more advanced part of SEO, and we'll actually be covering that in another video lesson. Now, how do we make sure that your title tag is optimized? First thing you have to do is make sure you keep it under 70 characters, including spaces, because that's actually Google's character limit for displaying title tags in these search result pages. 2, make sure your main keyword is in the front, followed by your brand being in the back, and then perhaps a secondary keyword somewhere in the middle. The third, and probably the most important, is that make sure you have unique titles for each and every page on your website. Now we have here a different title tag for this particular page, which is About Us. And up here it's About the Company. You have to have a unique title for each and every one of these pages. Now while we're on the result page, let's take a look at our meta description. The meta description is simply a quick summary of what a particular page is about, which is right here underneath the title and the link itself. That is our meta description. And this won't be on the web page itself. But if we go back to the source code, you can see it when we scroll down a little bit under meta name equals description, content, and this is our meta description. And if you're having trouble finding this, you can simply use Control F and type in description, and that'll help you find it a lot easier. Or you can use Command F if you're on a Mac. Now that we know where our meta description is, how do we make sure it is optimized? The first thing, obviously your keyword should be in the meta description, But unlike your title, it doesn't need to be in the front necessarily. 2, this can be a bit longer than your title, usually between 100 and 160 characters, or 2 to 3 sentences. 3, this one should be written naturally, as if you're writing it to be read by a human being, rather than a computer or a search engine algorithm. And 4, as with your title tag, you should have a unique meta description for every page. And like an example here, if I type in Altek Media Portfolio, brings up our portfolio in a search, you can see the title tag is unique, and so is our meta description. And you can also see it with the About Us, as well as our homepage as well. So that is a summary of how to optimize your metadata, your title tags, and your meta descriptions. And the reason for that is that without these 2 elements, Google is going to have a very hard time to find your site. Now I'll be taking a look at our service page for this example, and we're going to see whether or not your page structure is optimized for SEO. But before we go into the actual structure of the page, there's one very important thing you need to know first. When laying out your website, be sure to have one topic per page. This is really important, and many site owners can overlook this key element. For example, if your site has an About the Owner page and has a bio and a picture, that's great. However, if that same page has a company history excerpt and or a list of the rest of the staff, that can hurt your SEO, since the About the Owner page isn't just about the owner. Instead, what you should have is them on separate pages and have them interlinked to each other. So your About the Owner page will have a portrait and a bio about the owner, then have a link to another page that's about the company. And this page will have the company description, history, accolades, and so forth. Same with the staff page. This page will be all about the team with short bios, pictures, whatever relevant info you think it should have. So it's better to have smaller pages that focus on one subject than to have one page with a bunch of information crammed into it. Now, to have the best possible user experience, your page should be structured properly. In simple terms, think of structuring your web content like you would a Word document, plus a few additional elements to make your content stronger. First, each page should have a heading. This should be the headline of your page. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the top of the whole page, but it should be at the top of your content. Have an intro paragraph, and then the next header, and then a paragraph relevant to that header, and then so on and so forth. You can get somewhat creative with the structure, as SEO rules regarding structure are not totally set in stone, but as long as your site is easily accessible to your audience, you should be okay. The additional elements I mentioned earlier, in this case images, are good to use to make your site more appealing, but there are certain criteria specifically for images when optimizing your site. 1, break your text up with relevant pictures. Don't just add pictures for the sake of adding pictures. 2, make sure they're of a proper size in both pixel dimensions and file size. 3, also be sure to add the alt attribute to every one of your images. Now, the alt attribute was originally used in cases of missing images, or if a user that had images disabled on their computer in order to speed up load times. But search engines also like alt attributes as well. Now, alts should be relevant to the picture or article. These ones here, for example, have pre-production values, video production values as their alt attributes. One last element within your content should be outbound links. If you know of another source on the internet that you can help verify your content, or citing another source directly, then make sure you have a link to that page. SEO-wise, this is encouraged because this will help validate your argument, but only when necessary. If you have no argument or opinion in your content that warrants support, then there's no need to force any in. Now, I know a lot of this is about supporting your content and having good structure, just sounds like common sense, right? That will come into play specifically for SEO in our next video, building your backlink profile. Again, if you have any questions about this presentation, feel free to contact me by phone or email, or use the box to my left.